To start at the beginning, the root causes of the war were multifaceted. The primary catalyst was the dispute over the rightful succession to the French throne. After the death of the French king Charles IV in 1328, the French nobility chose Philip VI of Valois as king. However, Edward III of England, who was Charles IV's nephew, claimed the throne through his mother, Isabella of France. This dynastic conflict was further complicated by territorial disputes over the regions of Aquitaine and Poitiers, which were held by the English crown but were part of the French kingdom. In contemplating the early phases of the war, it's interesting to reflect on the initial English advantages. The English army, though smaller, was highly effective due to innovations in military tactics, such as the use of longbowmen. The longbow became a symbol of English military prowess, offering a range and rate of fire that was unmatched by the traditionally dominant French cavalry. Key battles such as Crécy, 1346, and Poitiers, 1356, showcased these tactical advantages. In both battles, English forces, under the leadership of Edward III and his son, the Black Prince, achieved significant victories against larger French armies. These successes had a demoralizing effect on France and demonstrated the shifting nature of medieval warfare, where infantry and ranged weapons began to gain prominence over cavalry. The war was not continuous, but marked by intermittent periods of peace and truce, such as the Treaty of Bretigny in 1360, which temporarily ceded large territories in France to England. However, these treaties often unraveled, leading to renewed hostilities. One must consider the socio-political impact of the war on both nations. In England, the war contributed to the development of a sense of national identity and the centralization of royal authority. The need for sustained military campaigns led to innovations in taxation and governance, which would have lasting effects on English society. In France, the war initially exacerbated internal divisions and resulted in significant territorial losses. However, these challenges eventually led to the strengthening of the French monarchy. Figures like Charles V, who implemented reforms to recover territory, and Charles VII, whose reign saw the reconquest of French lands, played crucial roles in the revival of French fortunes. A pivotal turning point in the war was the emergence of Joan of Arc, a peasant girl claiming divine guidance. Her leadership and inspiration were critical in lifting the siege of Orléans and revitalizing French morale. Joan's influence was symbolic of a broader resurgence that saw the eventual expulsion of English forces from French soil. The conclusion of the 100 Years' War came with the Battle of Castillon in 1453, which marked the end of English territorial ambitions in France, aside from Calais. The war's end left both countries significantly altered. England faced internal unrest, culminating in the Wars of the Roses, while France emerged as a more unified, centralized state. Reflecting on the 100 Years' War, it's clear that it was more than a dynastic struggle. It was a transformative period that reshaped national identities, military tactics, and state structures. The war's legacy is evident in the development of modern nation-states.